Okay, let me start from somewhere. Greatest African youth. Of the greatest, 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 of the greatest African youth. Okay, let me compose myself now. Good morning. We're still morning, right? Good morning, everyone. I think it's very important when we talk about politics, when we talk about democracy, when we talk about election, because at the end of the day, the only way we are able to get people into office and people that will govern us and decide how our lives go for decades, sometimes for centuries, is through democracy, is through politics, is through election, if you're practicing democracy. And so it's very important that the process that brings in those leaders is free and fair. And it's violence-free. When you take away the right for people to vote, when you steal their mandate, that's a civilian coup. You're taking everything away from them. You're taking away their agency. At the end of the day, you find that people become helpless. It doesn't make any sense when you vote for someone and that vote is taken away from you. Your agency is taken away from you. The office of the citizen, like we heard earlier, is the highest office in the land. These are the people who ensure, who decide who are the people that are going to govern them. And so in that process, the people who are governing them are the people who are like their employees. But unfortunately, what we have today, because we have an electoral process that is not free and fair, that it's not credible, where people are able to rig election, and then it then means that the people are not the ones in charge of bringing in those who are going to govern them. And so we begin to see impunity. We begin to see people acting in the way that they want to, in the manner that they want to, and not in the way that it's supposed to be. And so when we talk about the credibility of election, it's about everything. When we talk about electoral reform, it's about everything. It means that you, as a citizen, you're given the right to decide who indeed it is, that governs you. And if that right is taken away from you, what then remains? Then you're no longer a citizen, you're slaves. We're slaves. Currently in Nigeria right now, everything is captured. We have state capture, we have judiciary capture, we have legislative capture. We have everywhere where institutions are no longer there for the people. For example, let me give you an example. The judiciary is supposed to be the last resort of the common man, right? Today in Nigeria, the judiciary is no longer the last resort of the common man. It's the plaything of corrupt politicians. And they are brazen in the way and manner that they treat the judiciary anyhow. You see people going around doing judicial shopping. Somebody will leave Agbede, my town in Edo State, and go to Brinukud in Jigawa to go and file a case because they're looking for favorable judgment. And even when these judgments are given, they decide what they will follow, what they will adhere to, and what they will not. And then we are having a judiciary right now where they're giving, what was the last one in the case of Natasha? They're giving opinion. We're talking about judiciary. You're not making a categorical statement. For example, if we take the case of Natasha, where they said her suspension is unconstitutional, it's illegal. And then you're saying that the National Assembly should recall that person. How do you find someone who has done something unconstitutional, illegal, and you give that person the power to do something? That's not acceptable. And then you're finding out that the words that are spoken in judgment is different from what is on the CTC. And so all of these are coming because we the people no longer have the power that we are supposed to have to elect the people who will govern us. And because they know that, and because we don't have, the process that is transparent, that ensures election, that is credible, then we're having people who are no longer public servants, but people who are emperors, who think they are more than us. And I will end on this note to tell everybody here, no Nigerian is more Nigerian than any any Nigerian. And our country, we will not allow it to be sabotaged and taken away by a few. We will stand for our country and for Africa. Thank you.